brain to help remove self-limiting beliefs that sometimes we adapt to growing up, okay? So she's going to spend about the next 10 minutes to talk to you guys a little bit more about how our brain is wired and help encourage you guys to have and get the most out of today and the forces that you guys are going to be sitting in on. Thanks so much, Kimba. We love you, big sister.
Thank you guys so much for being here today. While you guys finish waking up, is it cool if I take 2 minutes to tell you a little bit about myself?
Yeah.
Good with that? All right, great. So my name is Kimba Garcia. I am local here in DFW. I'm a business owner, and I'm also an NLP practitioner, as Amanda said. An NLP practitioner, guys, we specialize with the way that language wires the operational systems that our realities are perceived through, right? So it's our language, both internal and external. And when we pay attention to the language, it creates the operational systems that we get to exist through, right? So over the course of the last 7 years, I have been building multiple companies, as well as pushing into coaching primarily entrepreneurs across the country with being able to build out what we call a life by design, right? You guys want to build out your own life by design? We're going to practice that today, right? We're not going to be a victim of what happens to us through life. We're going to be the creator of that. I'm also a mom, right? I have 3 kids myself, 8, 11, and 15. My son Peyton is actually right there in the back. Wave to him, Peyton. You need a friend today? Peyton's a great friend, right? You guys walk over and by the age of 17, I was actually pregnant with Peyton. By the age of 18, I was living on my own. I was managing a household. I was paying bills. And I was buying diapers. Definitely understand what it's like to be a young adult out in the world trying to figure things out. And we don't know what we don't know.
No worries. They don't teach us this in school. Can someone just say this? I want everyone to say, please teach us this in school. Can you teach us this in school? 7 months later, Tyler did not pay you back. He comes again about 2 years later and he's like, hey bro, can I borrow like 500? You gonna let him borrow it?
Who is $500?
You ready to fight at that point? You're like, no, where my $1,000 at? Exactly. Now watch this. You're not gonna let him borrow. Now let's say he comes to you. Remind me your name one more time. Brooklyn. Let's say you go to Brooklyn. You're like Brooklyn, I like Brooklyn. You my sister, you know what I mean? Like we cool, you know, we got a relationship. Can I borrow $2,000 real quick? Because now you're trying to pay the $1,000 back. Plus you're trying to, get yourself another $1,000. Would you let him borrow? Exactly, right? So how they keep record of this is through your credit report. And that's how they're able to track who you paid back, did you pay it on time, stuff like that. Now who keeps this data, right? Because somebody has to keep record of it, right? It's all kept with what's called the 3 credit bureaus. There's 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So these are the companies that literally just hold all of our data.
That water in your system. In these movies that you see, the ER, the emergency shows where they've got people bleeding out and they come into the hospital, we give them more water back to their bodies than we give them blood. We'll give them some blood, but it's that fluid and that water that their body needs, because that's what our body requires for everything, for our organs, for our skin, for your heart, for everything.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
I got a little sleeve.
Yeah.
Overdraft. And so basically you tell them, whenever you go with your parents to open this account, I don't want to be able to spend the money if I don't have the money, because I don't want those overdraft fees. So you have that option to tell them, I want you to put this on my account to where I'm not overdrafting.
Although you can be quiet, why would you want to? Then that just kind of raises our suspicion of you got something, or you're hiding something, or you just want to be a butthead and not say anything. We come across a lot of those. They'll crack their window about this much, and then they'll talk to you like this. Something wrong with your neck, your window broke, whatever. At that point, 9 times out of 10, I'll just take you out of the car and then talk to you from that point. If you don't have a license, any type of information, identifying information you have, we are in Texas. Not everybody has a license, so majority of the time they have IDs or passports. Even though it may be legal to drive with those in other states and other countries, in Texas you are required to have some sort of driver's license.
You don't have a negative here. You got this post for your ground. You're not actually connected to a negative charge on the battery. You're connected to the ground, the metal in the vehicle itself.
from time to time to kind of break away, break your eyes here and there. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure you have a good foundation, eye contact. Because again, that can fall under the umbrella of you're not confident, you're not sure of yourself, and it also can be perceived as if you're not engaged in that conversation, and you don't want to have that. Because again, under the umbrella of etiquette is perception, and what is your perception telling people out there? Okay.
Counseling. Those are all things that can be experiences that you can drive through to get a job if you've never had a job. So, or babysitting, those can all be experiences.
But the distilled water has become superheated. Just dropping in a sugar cube should make the boiling process happen instantly.
My hands are crazy.
So sex really is just responsibility. Are you going to be responsible? Are you going to hold your core values? And are you going to treat the people in the relationships that you're with care and responsibility?
I have a question.
Shoot it.
If a boy comes at me and I'm not ready yet, what do I do?
Smack him. Not ready. You stand firm in your core values. Be like, no, this is not for me. And if you feel uncomfortable where you feel like he's being forceful, remove yourself.
Run away.
Get to a place where you feel comfortable, and that's going to be really good on your part. Because the more you stand for yourself, the more that it'll show men how to respect.
You will rise.
Yeah. So, all right. Did y'all leave me a review?
Oh, no.
Good job. Okay, so name some things you guys want whenever you get older. Do you want to, name some things you want when you become an adult?
An F-42 attack helicopter.
I'm not sure.
Wait, like an actual helicopter? Dude, keep your goals big, because you can achieve anything you put your mind to. Okay, a helicopter. What else we got? Who else do we want?
A stable life.
A stable life. Okay, what makes up a stable life? What do you want within that stable life?
Car, a place to sleep.
Car, okay, a place to sleep. Name some more things. What do you got? What's one thing you want? No? Okay. What's one more? A house. All right, perfect. If you guys want any of that, how adults are able to afford those things is because of credit. When I graduated high school, I first moved into my own apartment at 19 years old, and I was completely clueless, okay? You know, a lot of people, once they moved out their parents' house, if they mess up their credit at like 18, 19, kind of how Kimba had talked about when, what happened to her when she was younger, because we're not taught that in school. What happens is now you're going to get an apartment, like for yourself, you need a place to live when you're 19, 20, and you've already messed up your credit, or you don't have any credit, and now it's tough, now you don't have a place to live, and you're like scrambling around, where do I get an apartment from, Or how do I buy a car? I can't afford a car now. Now you gotta walk everywhere, right? Like it's like the 1800s. So
Turn off the front, move to the back, and put the spare on the front, so that way your gears are turning at the same time, and you're not ruining your rear end. But this is a key.
I was raising myself while I was raising another little boy, and I didn't even know who I was as a person, what I wanted to do in life. But I'm trying to figure it out.
First, gotta get this thing back down.
So, you should have just brought an orange.
Here, you gotta go with the jack that's in the car. Put your foot on that. Me? Yeah, come on, just put your foot on that.
Mr. James.
Still. So we gotta get it back down, obviously.
Do a little bit of what the water does for your body, what the benefits are. Yeah, so
Y'all still have it. It's clear skin. Totally want to keep that.
it's very important in high school.
As hormones are coming about, drinking water will help suppress it. If we're working out, it'll help lubricate your organs, lubricate your joints.
It helps your heart.
Full-time employees and there are benefits that are applied to part-time. So paid holidays is typically applied to a full-time position, and you're part-time. So your hours are not consistently the same, which means you may not be scheduled.
Okay, so if you tap it and you do all that and you don't use a credit card, it would just be the same.
But your Apple Pay is linked to a card.
Oh,
Your
okay,
Apple
okay.
Pay won't work unless you have a card linked to it. So you can't just use Apple Pay and just expect Apple to pay for everything. Unfortunately, right? I mean, you have to link your card to it, whether that be a debit card or a credit card, that's completely up to you. But again, debit card is your money, credit card is borrowed money. So. Anyone else have any questions that maybe I didn't answer?
Oh, ma'am. Alrighty, we'll fill that out.
You're sick, you got a headache, and your stomach's hurting, and you want to take something for both, and you think you're taking Tylenol for your headache, and you're taking something for your stomach, but it also has Tylenol in it, at that point, you're taking too much Tylenol, and Tylenol specifically can kill your liver. Okay, so doing this is over and over and over again is bad for your body. And you can't overdose. Yeah, people don't just overdose on drugs like painkillers. You can overdose on anything you get at Walmart. Might take a lot more, but you can still do it.
Makes her look like you just run away like.
When she makes a move on you,
Get a load of this guy.
It's weird that she's.
It's here, it's here. And it also usually have you step out of the vehicle, and then we'll talk to you behind the back of the vehicle. I'm saying this against the law to have one unless you're a felon, but it's also good to let them know that you have to put inside of the vehicle. That way, everybody's safe.
peer pressure, right? How many of us have been in a group of friends and we come, like, they're doing something that we know we probably shouldn't be doing? So what is a core value that we can set around peer pressure? Don't do it. Maybe honesty. Honesty, don't give in. So you know where you stand. That's a good core value. Another one?
Negative at my bank, and they didn't pay the fees that they owe me. And so they're proving that they can't be responsible. So I'm not going to let them open a bank account over here. And sometimes you have to go get a second chance bank account. And so those usually have stipulations where now you're having to pay monthly to be able to have an account.